to Creative Corner from the Land of Enchantment. I'm so happy that you could join us today. We are going to be looking at the possibilities from Free as a Bird stamp set by Stampin' Up. I think you're really going to enjoy this. So don't forget to stick around to the end because we have 6 cards to show you that we have made using all these components. So let's head down to the crafting table and let's get started. The first thing I want to tell you is what are the coordinating colors that you use with this stamp set? Well, let me just run through these real quickly for you. Old Olive, Petal Pink, Bermuda Bay, Calypso Coral, Daffodil Delight, Whisper White, Smoky Slate, Soft Suede, Bermuda Bay, Crumb Cake, Basic Black, and of course, Basic Gray. All those colors coordinate so well with the paper that you can also buy to use with this stamp set. Now you're going to see a lot of examples of when we just cut out the birds to put on our cards. This is quite the beautiful designer series paper that you can buy. But the card we're going to make today is a top-down fold. And so you are going to need to cut a card 4 1/4, and then you'll be scoring it at 5 1/2 to create the top fold card. You're also going to need a couple strips of paper. So this piece of paper right here is 2 inches. Then the one that goes inside is 1 3/4. You're going to need 2 squares. One is going to be a 3-inch square and one is going to be 2 3/4 of an inch square. And then you're going to need some of that designer series paper and you're going to cut out a cute little coordinating bird. Aren't those little birds lovely? So pretty. So the first thing we want to do is go ahead and get down our strip of paper that we're going to use, and we are just going to glue it down and glue down this center strip right here as well. Now I will point out that whatever designer series paper you use for this, you need to make sure that you cut it the right way so that its origin is either portrait or landscape, because it wouldn't look very good if we did it like that, right? So just pay particular attention to the origin of your paper. So we're going to go ahead and get some Kalau, and we're going to just use our Kalau to glue down our strip of paper. And we're going to put it about right there. And I am using my silicone mat so as not to get it on my table. Okay. And there we have our first strip of paper. Now remember, all the measurements will be down below. All you do is click below where it says show more, and all the supplies will be right there. And you can just click on any of those and it'll take you right to our store and you can pick up those supplies. Now, once again, remembering the origin of your paper so that you get it exactly right. You want to make sure those birds are going upright. So here we have it. Now you can see I have just a little bit there, so I'm going to use my snips and I'm going to just cut off that little bit that I need to cut off. And there we have the first part of our card. Now the next thing we need to do is we need to take our squares that we have, go ahead and get this down on the paper. We're going to put this one on the paper because we have to stamp this before we put it on the paper, right? Because you can't stamp on dimensionals. So we're going to just grab some dimensionals, 5, because I want to have one in the middle so as not to have it squished. And I'm just going to take those off. We're going to get our card and we are going to put it diagonal. Now this is where you really have to make sure you get it right where you want it. So we have it exactly the way we need it. And now we've already cut out this little bird that I showed you, these two cute little birds, and you have to decide where are you going to put it. So we're going to put it about right here. Remember, these are going to be set up on dimensionals because I need to decide where to put my sentiment. And so that's where we're going to have it, and I'm going to be using Memento Black to stamp our thank you sign. And I'm going to keep my birds there so I know exactly where I want it. And we're okay. So the next thing we need to do is we need to go ahead and get this one up on dimensionals. And I'm going to put one in the center once again. So I'm just going to take the dimensionals off. And get this set right in the center. Now this is a very quick card that you can create. Create several of them to give to your friends, right? Now I'm going to put some big dimensionals on part of the birds, and then on the smaller parts I'll use those mini dimensionals. Okay, so we got some strong dimensionals going right there. Now I'm just going to be really careful and put it on the little bitty flowers. Okay, now we're just going to take the dimensionals off. What I like about this stamp set is that if you buy the designer series paper, you're able to use the birds, cut the birds out and utilize them in your cards. I like that. I like that ability because if you're not real comfortable with using the blends, then you can just have those beautiful birds cut out. Okay, so we are going to put our little birds down. And there we have the front of it. Now, what we need to do is cut a piece of paper and put it right on the inside. And that size, remember I said, is 4 1/4, and we want to make sure that we have a border. So we're going to cut it 4 inches by 5 1/4. And that way we'll have that little border right on the inside. Now, before we glue that down, we want to go ahead and stamp our message. We're going to use our Memento Black again, and we're going to say, thank you, the world needs more of you. So we're just going to put that right in the middle. And there we have it. So we are going to glue that down. This is really such a springy stamp set, don't you think? Oh my goodness, the birds are out singing, and they're quite beautiful. So, here's the one that we created very quickly. Didn't take long at all. We used the designer series paper. We simply cut out the birds, stamped something, and used the coordinating color, of course, our pool party, which coordinates with the blue, and that is the one we created today. Let's look at the other possibilities that we created using this stamp set. Here we once again cut out one of the birds, but we just cut it as a rectangle. And have you seen this wonderful little ribbon, this raffia ribbon that they have? That's just a knot that I tied, and I just spread that out. It's so pretty. It kind of looks like a bird's nest, right? How they put the little branches in there. Then we just simply put our message here, and look at this. This is something we did add to this stamp set. We used the birch stamp just to give us a background. And then you can just put your vanilla cream paper in here so that you can write on it, and that's another possibility. Now, look at this one. Here's a top fold card. Look at how we did this. Once again, we used the designer series paper. We used a label. We love this label. And we just tore some paper, old olive. Can you see that? It's just torn. We just tore it to give it that ragged edge, and then we stamped our leaves from the set. We stamped this bird set that comes in the stamp set, and we just used our blends to color it. So cute. And then we double matted it on the inside. The world needs more of you. Oh my goodness. Now, look at this masterpiece. Oh my goodness. These are simply cut out from the designer series paper. And this is the card, the coordinating cardstock. This is simply one of the die cuts that we have, and I'll list that in the supplies. The coordinating paper, and we just glued that on. That's simply taken from the designer series paper. And then we stamped it on the inside. So that is another possibility. Now look at this cute little guy. Isn't he cute? Once again, we cut our little birds out. We used the designer series paper. We stamped our leaves, put a little hello, put a little ribbon up at the top, just for a cute little card. I know these would bring smiles to people, right? So lovely. Now look at this one. This is the landscape one that we did. Once again, we cut out the birds and we made our own background. We used the single bird and the leaves to go with it, and we stamped it and then just created a mat on the inside with the stamp. We're trying to give you a lot of possibilities for this stamp set. And finally, I just really think this black card shows off these colors so well. Look at the feathers. This is a designer series paper. We cut out the bird, once again did thank you, and stamped it on the inside. That's what this series is all about. We just wanted to show you some possibilities of this stamp set, and I think we did. I think you will really like this, particularly now as we enter into spring. Thank you for sharing your time with us today. If you need any of the materials, remember, you can click Show Me down below the video, and it'll give you a list of the materials and supplies. If you received a little bit of inspiration from this video, please give us a thumbs up, and we would love for you to subscribe. Remember, this is a new series that we will be posting in the playlist of Creative Corner. So go out and have a fantastic day, and we'll see you in the next video. Bye-bye.